What's up, YouTube? This is Damon, aka the world's worst magician, and today I'll be bringing you a look at the Dream Totem by Rick Lax and Penguin Magic. Now, if you're not familiar with this, I will leave a link in the description to where you can view the trailer. But essentially what it is, if you've seen the movie Inception, then what happens is, if you haven't seen Inception, or if you have, basically he has, this is called a totem, and in Inception, sometimes you can't tell if you're dreaming or not. So the way to tell is that you take a top and you spin it, and if the top spins indefinitely, then you are dreaming. If it stops and falls over, then you're in real life. So that's the way to tell. So this is kind of a spin on that. You see what I did there? So basically what you have is a totem, and then you have a card with instructions. So I'll hold this close so I don't want to read to you. It's not story time. But let me focus on this. So basically the way that it comes off is that you are going to tell the audience if it spins and it stays straight up that they are not dreaming. But if you spin it and the totem turns upside down, if you turn this card upside down, then you will now be in a dream state. And then there's a part here. This is actually pretty cool. So to wake up, what you do is if you take this and then as I spin it, hopefully you can see it. There's a circle that starts to appear in there, and I am mesmerizing you. And then, basically you can bring the totem back to bring them out of their dream state. So, as always, let's start with the negatives. The biggest negative I have really is just that the hardest part is the very first spin. To kind of show them that the top is regular. It's a little knacky, and I found that it does not work on, so I was doing it on my mat, and the spins do not work on any surface other than a hard surface, and this was kind of hard to control. So when I spun it, you would need a table with, I would say, at least a foot to 2 feet of space, because when you spin it, it hits and then it could like take off or whatever before it does its thing. The other negative for me is just that I felt like it wasn't that impactful. Like, I don't know, you would almost have to find people in a bar or something or in some sort of altered mental state to really drive home that this is like you're dreaming now. I don't know. I felt like the routine maybe could have been better. Just the way that you sell it of putting them, into sleep and then they're supposed to be in a dream and now you're bringing them out. To me, it just didn't make sense. So I would like to see like just a deeper story or another part of the effect. So I think it might be better served if you have that kind of effect where it's like a mentalism. And then you kind of work this in there as that, but as a standalone effect. I don't know. I just felt like it wasn't that powerful, but that's just me, and it's no disrespect to them. I apologize if it came off that way. I just felt like, when the cohesion of the story comes together, that, it might not be one of those effects that they're just like blown away at the end, But anyway, that's just kind of personal preference. The spin thing, that's not personal preference. It's going to take you some time to get that first spin down. And then, like I said, for the second part of it, where you're turning the card upside down, that has to be done on a hard surface. So you couldn't do it on a matte type surface or a, I don't know. I would almost think if the table had a cloth, that it might not work on that either, that you would need like a hard table, hard surface. So the good of it, that's really all the negatives I had. The good of it is that if you can pull off the part where basically the totem disappears and then you do the hypnosis thing and then it reappears, if you can pull that part off, I think that you can get a good effect out of that. But like I said, I don't think that anybody's going to really believe that they're dreaming or anything like that. But like, if you make the totem disappear and then you make it come back, that could be a pretty cool thing to do. And they do show you that. Rick Lax, his instruction is always impeccable. And, for the most part, I dig all of his effects. This one, I could try to work it. Like I said, I just feel like this needs to be part of something bigger, not just kind of a standalone effect by itself. And then you do have the drawback of learning that first spin. But if you can get it down, and follow his instruction, then it's actually pretty clean. And yeah, I think that's probably about all I got for it. So you may wonder about like angle sensitivity or anything like that. Really, there isn't any. So you can do this completely surrounded. The reset is instant, and there's no crazy like, gadgets, or basically all you have is the card and this totem. So, you don't have to worry about any extra strings or anything like that. And then, you can do the vanish and that sort of thing. So it's a clean effect. Like I said, it's a cool effect, and I really like this part with the card. I'm going to do it again, and hopefully you'll still see that there. Kind of amaze myself every time I see it because, it's just a really cool optical illusion. So you'll use that to help wake them up. And like I said, that part of the routine is pretty cool, where you do that and then you make the totem pop out of the card. So yeah, overall, it's cool. Is it worth it? Again, I always leave that up to you. If you do mentalism or anything like that, maybe hypnosis, those kind of things, then I think this would be a great addition, because you could, really move it in there. If you basically just do like card magic and things like that, where you're not really engaging the audience, trying to make them feel like you're manipulating their minds, then this may not be for you, because like I said, it should be a part of something bigger, not just a standalone. But again, that's up to you. For you, this may be like that one mind-blowing effect that you needed in your routine, and I'm just stupid and don't know, right? So I'll leave a link in the description to where you can check this one out and also pick it up. All right, again, this has been your look at the Dream Totem by Rick Lax and Penguin Magic. All right, see ya. Well, I hope you liked that review. And if you have any questions, magic tricks, or decks that you want to see reviewed, go ahead and leave a comment down below, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. As always, I would greatly appreciate it if you would click that like button and subscribe for any future reviews. All right, see ya.